my YouTube channel. It's been forever since I've done one. I decided to come back, and I thought what better way to come back than to show a tour of my bookshelf. So here we go. So currently my bookshelf is still going under some type of renovation, if I should say. There's a whole bunch of random things here. I'm still making it, trying to be kind of, nice and whatnot. But anyway, here is my section, and here is my dad's section. He loves a lot of fiction, military style. And here's just a mix, mom's kind of. Anyways, so let's start at the first part of my bookshelf. Here is by Elizabeth Chandler, called Everlasting, which is the sequel to Evercrossed. And there is actually the first book of the trilogy is called Kissed by an Angel, and Kristen Cast, and it is a House of Night novel. It's actually the only book that I own from the House of Night novel, but I actually, upstairs on my TBR, I own the last book called Redeemed, and it's actually a signed copy, so that will soon be on the shelf eventually. It is a mostly relationship kind of deal. It's very has a whole bunch of drama going on, but honestly it was actually a pretty good book, and by Simone Alcalis. We have the wonderful book that I just finished last Friday, I believe, Ella and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. And I actually have Anna and the French Kiss and Lila and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins, which is a part of this trilogy. So, and honestly, I love the series so far this year. Probably one of my favorite series this again. I remember I read this a long time ago by Anne Stampler, and I don't know, it was an okay book. It took me a while to get through, but yeah. Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, which is also the author of The Summer I Turned Pretty. I love this series so much. And this book actually has a nice cover, which I will show you. Insurgent by Veronica Roth. I actually do not have Divergent, but I have Allegiant as well. It's kind of why do I have only the two books? But yeah, I have these two, and by Veronica Roth, so I loved the Divergent series. I actually haven't read Allegiant so far yet. To the second part of my bookshelf, Disaster by Jamie McGuire, and honestly I have to read the second book of this, which is called Walking Disaster, I believe, so I can't wait to read the second book. I still have to. Green, An Abundance of Catherines, which I actually enjoyed, and it had a lot of math in it because but it was pretty good otherwise. We have Shadow Kiss by Rochelle Mead. I only have this book of the series, but I am on the 5th book, and I love the series. Honestly, it's a good Vampire Academy. We have Ashes by Cassandra Clare. I think I have The Mortal Instrument City of Bones on my Kindle, and I have the third one on my to be read stand upstairs. A part of the Immortals series by Alison Noel is a good series. I finished that a couple years ago, and it was one of my favorite series at the time. Nightshade novel. I started reading the second one, but I didn't get through it, which I hope to get through it soon. Chera Hooked, I enjoyed, and there's actually a second book based off of these two characters' siblings. Wes Anderson Twisted. I actually read Speak, which I loved, and I did an English project on, and I love the movie as well. It's about not backing down to sexual harassment, and that girl was very strong, so I hope you guys read that. It's inspirational to all girls and women in general. Here's my next stack by Elizabeth Chandler, was the second Kissed by an Angel novel, and I already went through that, and I enjoyed it as well. Summer Went Up in Flames by Jennifer Salvata Dworsky was a very good book, and actually funny at the beginning, so read it. The two Anna and the French Kiss books by Stephanie Perkins, which was the first book of the whole series that I read this summer before I went to Paris and Europe because I wanted to see what it was all about. And I got this book while I was in Europe, but I got this one as a birthday. It is Return to Paradise. I had Leaving Paradise somewhere. I think my friend is borrowing it still, but I read it a long time ago and I really enjoyed it. Yes, here we have Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I hope I pronounced that right. Honestly, I am not going to go into this because if I go into it, I will go crazy. I love this book. I still have to read Unite Me and the rest of the books in the series. I actually have, I forgot what book was upstairs, but I enjoy this book. I love this book. Probably, I don't know, between the Selection series and Shatter Me series, this was honestly an amazing book this year. And The Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins, and it is the second book to Anna and the French Kiss, and after this was Isla and the Happily Ever After. I read this when I came back from Europe and I enjoyed it. The next stack of books. We have Ruta Sepetys, I hope I pronounced that right again, Out of the Easy, which takes place in New Orleans, and it was a good book too. I think I read it this past summer. And Park by Rainbow Rowell was one of the other many 8 books that I bought while in Europe, and it was such a cute love story. Yes, To the Dead by Ava Delara. I hope I pronounced that right. And it was a book that I also bought in Europe this past summer, and it was very just emotional. And this is another book by Elizabeth Chandler, and it's called Dark Secrets. One is actually composed of a bunch of stories, Legacy of Lies and Don't Tell, and I love this book, hence the weird marks all over the place. And I actually read it once or twice, I'm not sure, but it was really Secrets 2 by Elizabeth Chandler, combined with No Time to Die and The Deep End of Fear, which was also a good book by Elizabeth Chandler. And you should read this if you like a bunch of stories combined together. It's also a part of Elizabeth Chandler's books called The Back Door of Midnight, and it was a Dark Secrets novel. Also Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I hope I pronounced that right. So many authors that names are difficult to pronounce, but anyway, I enjoyed this book and I love the movie as well, and I don't know, it's just very emotional and I loved it. I hope you enjoy this video, subscribe and share with everybody, and I hope you watch my other videos coming soon. I liked it, and I have a bunch of other books left from my TBR which I have to get through, but yes, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Bye! Subscribe and follow my channel on Instagram called A Books Galore, ABOOKSGALORE, and I will put it below the description. So thank you.